Joining me today from the Better Business Bureau, we've got Tiffany Schultz back here. Tiffany, welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you for joining me. And today we're going to be talking about the payday loans and something that you might need someday along the line for whatever reason. We don't ask any questions here, but we want you to stay protected when it comes to payday. And I was telling you off here, I said most of the time I thought of these guys as scammers anyways, because of the paybacks and the terms and conditions. Like if there was something that you would want to read for fine print, I would be like looking at it with a magnifying glass when you're looking at this. But you guys take a lot of complaints, but it isn't on scams, really. It's on other things.
Payday loans are something that a consumer should research before they go ahead and sign on the bottom line. A lot of people turn to these loans as short-term solutions during the COVID-19 pandemic with job loss and maybe having to pay bills, and it was easy money. It's not necessarily easy money. It's easy to get, but there's a lot of fine print. And if you're looking at one of these, you need to know that some of these loans come up with interest rates of up to 650%. And you compare that to your regular loan options that may be around the 5, 6, 7% rate, even credit cards. If you're paying an 18 or 19% interest rate, it's a whole lot better than this 650% rate. Well, these loans are actually quoted on a biweekly or a weekly basis and what your payback is going to be. But if you calculate those numbers, it can come up to triple-digit interest rates that you're paying. So if you're looking at one of these loans, really read the fine print and know what you're getting into. There's also fees that are associated with these loans too. And a lot of the fees are very opaque, meaning that they're non-transparent. And when you get to one of the ends of these loans, what can happen is you haven't paid off the entire balance. So what you do is extend your loan and there's more fees. And it just goes ahead and snowballs one after another. And consumers can find themselves facing bankruptcy, eviction, despair, just to get out from underneath of these loans.
What are the complaints that BBB is taking in and or the Federal Trade Commission on average when we're looking at disputes specifically to payday loans?
The BBB has received almost 3,000 complaints regarding payday loans, and a lot of them stem around the high interest rates, the PEG fees. And not only do we get complaints, but we also get scam reports these, because whatever is in the news, scammers take advantage of. And scammers have found their opportunity to take advantage of consumers who are taking out these loans. Maybe they make a phone call to them and they say, you haven't fulfilled your balance and there's an outstanding balance, and they threaten legal consequences if you don't pay up immediately. We've received almost 8,000 complaints in regards to scammers taking advantage of payday loans too. So not only complaints, but scams are out there too.
Of course there is. They're always surrounded there somehow, some way. So let's talk about specifically if you are considering to pick up a payday loan here, and just starting in the homework section of this. One of my favorite things that you tell us when we're talking about different scammer information, but doing your homework on these things, it's better, like probably comparing, like checking into your bank or other like you said, even a credit card. I mean, at this, if you're that desperate, if you can, this certainly, I mean, there's things about each one of those, but what would you say when you're talking about the homework end?
Really do your research, know what you're getting into. There's legitimate payday loan companies and there's illegitimate payday loan companies. You want to make sure that the company that you're working with is legitimate if payday loans are what you're considering. Head on over to bbb.org and do your homework. Check out if the company is legitimate, their letter grade, if there's any complaints against the company, how they were resolved by the company, any customer reviews. It's also great to do an internet search with the company name, follow it by scam, follow it by complaint, follow it by customer review. Read the fine print, know your other options too. Like you said, the credit card, the bank loan, what is your payback going to be? Look at your own budget. Can you afford that payback? What are the fees associated with the loan? Lots of things to look into as you go ahead and sign on the line. A lot of times consumers are really desperate. They need the money today. They don't have time to do the research, but it's important to do the research so you don't fall into one of these scams, or you know exactly what you're going to pay back and how much you're going to pay back.
And that would take me to the next question, a short-term interest rate comparison. So for people who maybe not be familiar with that, when you're talking about fees, it's the interest that is going to get you, and I'm not saying going to get you, but that is where you're looking for your comparisons.
The interest rate can be up to 650%, and every state has different lending laws on these payday loans. So an interest rate could be completely different in a different state. Look at your options. You have 5 to 6%, maybe at a bank, 7%, but maybe you can't get the loan tomorrow. Credit card, is there an opportunity there where you're paying 18, 19, 20% interest versus one of these loans? A bigger thing are these fees that are associated with them. They're very opaque. They're not transparent. If you have to extend the loan, there's more fees involved. So if you're borrowing $300, you could end up paying back $3,000 or more with one of these loans.
No, I think it's great information, and yeah, you definitely got to be wary of the scam side of anything that you're doing. Getting involved with and signing on the dotted line, but certainly in this case, they're there because they know that you need help, but you gotta really consider. I think gotta consider everything, put everything on the table there, and make a consideration before choosing the right company. If people do want to learn more about this, Tiffany, or just general information on scams and staying ahead of the game, where can they get more info?
You can head on over to bbb.org to check out companies. You can also report scams to us at bbb.org/scam tracker. If you've experienced one of these scams, regardless if you lost money or personal information, we'd love for you to report it to us. If you've maybe received a phone call where somebody has reached out to you and told you that you have an outstanding balance on a payday loan, or they invite you to apply for a payday loan, check them out on Scam Tracker. There's a great keyword function too. So not only are you looking up the name of the company that they told you that they're with, but you're also looking them up on Scam Tracker to see if there's any scams associated with that so-called company.
Yeah, great advice, Tiffany. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. We'll check back in with you real soon.
Thanks for having me.